Well everyone, it is time for watchOS 27. I've been using it for about 10 days in the developer beta 1 on my Apple Watch Ultra 2. So let's break down everything new, what I've learned, my impressions, and also all the supported devices because there's a little bit of bad news in that realm. So let's break it all down. But now the first thing I want to mention is going to be the supported devices for watchOS 27 because weirdly enough, iOS 27 is coming all the way down to the iPhone 11, meaning it's being supported on a 7-year-old iPhone. Now the story is not the same on the watchOS side and the Apple Watch side. We're only getting support for the Apple Watch Series 9 and newer, and even that, Apple originally mentioned it was only going to be for the Series 10. But again, now 10 days later, it is going to be for the Apple Watch Series 9 and newer, for the Apple Watch SE 3, and then only for the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and newer, meaning that I barely made the cutoff with my Apple Watch Ultra 2, which means the Apple Watch Ultra 1, which is not even a 4-year-old device, it will not be getting watchOS 27 at all. So again, to each their own, but I think that this is kind of iffy, especially because a lot of the new features, while there are a good amount of them, they don't seem super task intensive and power intensive, so I don't see why the Apple Watch Ultra 1 or maybe even the Series 8 and Series 7 aren't being supported. But now let's get into the Apple Watch Ultra and see exactly what's new with watchOS 27. Well everyone, here we have it, my Apple Watch Ultra 2 in black titanium running watchOS 27 developer beta 1. And before we continue, I know everybody's gonna ask, what's that watch band? This is the Tempo band by Nomad. I'll leave a link down below if you guys do want to check it out. But here we have it everybody, this is what it looks like. It's gonna look very familiar. There isn't too much tangible difference that you see. It's all gonna be kind of in the nitty gritty when it comes to the new updates. But the very first thing you're gonna notice when you open up your Apple Watch is when you go into your app view or whatever the view is, whether it's a list view or grid view, you're greeted with this new kind of Siri enhanced version and kind of like a first page of what apps you're using. Now, I like the idea of this. These are basically Siri suggested apps. Normally the one right here is going to be the most recent one, and then all the other ones to the left of it are going to be the ones that you've used most often or what Siri thinks you need in the moment. Now, I wish you could customize this to whatever you see fit. As of right now with beta 1, this is not customizable. This is purely on Siri suggestions, and it always opens up. You cannot turn off this view as of beta 1. Hopefully they allow you to turn it off, but basically if you do want to go into your app view, you tap on here, and then you have to click on this to get your list view or your grid view, however you use it. And then to get back out, you just press your button. But that is what you see every single time. And like I said, for the most part, the Siri suggested applications, these are apps that I don't really use. I never use the remote app. I never, ever, ever use the Books app. I never use the Abode app, which is my camera. I usually use the HomeKit app. Find My, I use very rarely. I don't really use the Maps app on here either. So again, there aren't any great suggestions here. I wish that we could customize it, but that is going to be the first real thing that you see in here. And now, like I said, you do need to have an Apple Watch Ultra 2 at least, or a Series 9 at least, in order to run watchOS 27. And I think that's because the double tap gesture came with those Apple Watches. So if you double tap your fingers here, you can see that you have that action. But now Apple improved on this with watchOS 27. So again, the double pinch will open up your smart stack. So if I get out of here, you double pinch, you do get your smart stack, and if you keep double pinching or double tapping, you'll kind of scroll through all the different menu options here. But the new part about this is that if you single tap, that's going to click into it now moving forward, which is something that wasn't available before. And you can see that the smart stacks are actually getting even smarter, which I really do like. For instance, you can see that the map is right there, but if I double tap again, you get some very relevant smart stack features here, like the outdoor run that's there. But even this one, the parked car in the area, so again, that's brand new. You have some other ones that are nice in here. You have your calendar as well here. Gonna go see Toy Story later today. But again, Smart Stack is just, again, getting smarter for everybody to be able to use. And interacting with it with the double tap feature is getting a little easier because now it can recognize double tap versus a single tap to go into one of these applications. So great to see that. Now, maybe part of the reason why Apple is throwing the Find My application there in the middle is because Find My on the Apple Watch did get a nice little improvement. It's a lot more familiar to what it looks like on iOS. You get the map view, you're able to ping everything you need to. It's much easier to navigate versus with watchOS 26. It was a very scaled back version, which was kind of unfortunate. But you can go in here and look at all your items, the people, your devices, very self-explanatory. You can look up where you are. And then of course you can ping them by going into each one of the devices. And if you press on this button down here, which is going to be that hamburger menu to see exactly which items are there. And then you use your digital crown to scroll through all the items that are inside the Find My application on here. So it's always good to see some improvements, especially for the usable and more tangible things that can be easily used on your Apple Watch. Another thing that got improvement is notifications. So notifications You either love them or you hate them, but the UI around notifications as well as dismissing them and muting them has gotten a lot better. So if I go down here, you can see that I have one of these emails. You can tap in there to get more information. So if you have a bunch of emails in that same realm, you can click on there and also get that little notification here or the AI summary. But if you tap on an individual notification, you can now scroll down and you still have that trash and the archive, but now you have this little bell icon here. If you tap on that, this is how you can mute it. You can mute it for an hour, mute it for the day, add to summary, turn off time sensitive, or completely turn them off directly from here. So I love to see that, just an easier way to mute or dismiss these settings, which is great to see. And now another cool addition that they did, which is kind of under the radar here, is if you have an Apple Watch face that does have the hands right here, which is like a normal watch, now those hands are highlighted. So if you are somebody who uses an always on display, those hands will always be highlighted. So when you do kind of look away and the viewing angle kind of changes and everything around it dims, those hands will still be visible. So you'll be able to see what time it is at a glance much easier versus somebody who doesn't have those highlighted watch hands. And then of course we got to talk about the Workout Buddy, right? Because Workout Buddy was introduced with iOS or watchOS 26 and it was improved on here. So some improvements with Watch Buddy or your Workout Buddy or whatever they're going to be calling it, of course, is first off, you do have now support for Spanish. So if you are in a Spanish speaking country, you now have full support of the Workout Buddy in Spanish. It also works without a nearby iPhone. Whereas before with watchOS 26, you needed to have your iPhone on you in order for it to work and work correctly. Now you can do it directly off your Apple Watch, which is great to see. And of course, you can customize your Workout Buddy however you see fit. So if you open up your workout application, you tap on the bottom right-hand corner, you now have a third voice. So if you tap on here,
way to get your workout started. Way to get your workout started.
I usually like to go with voice 2, I don't really know why, but you can now get some other alerts and some other situations here. So again, you have your target alerts, your splits, your time, your heart rate. But again, you can also get pace progress, distance progress, and workout duration progress inside the Workout Buddy. And I kind of like the Workout Buddy. It was something that I thought was going to be gimmicky, but it is very conversational. It was kind of like the first instance of what Siri AI was going to be like when it does come to a conversational standpoint. And then another interesting one is going to be an overall health and fitness improvement. So the first thing is that we're going to get improved motion tracking, which is going to be better for indoor activity. So if you're somebody who runs on a treadmill or walks on a treadmill, you do an indoor run, it's very different in terms of accuracy when you are running inside versus outside. For instance, it'll take me 10 minutes to run a mile on a treadmill, when in reality, when I run it outdoors, it takes me 8.5 minutes or 9 minutes, depending on how fast I'm running. My overall exertion is the same. So now it should be much more accurate running indoors. I hate running indoors, so it's not something that I even want to test, but it is something that a lot of people, especially maybe if it's raining or very cold outside, you have that option now. And then one weird one is that the step counter. So step counters between the fitness app and the health app weren't in sync. So they were different for some reason, but now you get the same number of steps on both your Apple Watch as you do on the health app inside the iPhone and on here as well. And they did add the perimenopause tracking with watchOS 27. So if you are somebody who is tracking that, you can now do that with your Apple Watch and watchOS 27. And some smaller per app changes. So if you go into the depth gauge, so if you go into your settings, go into the depth, I believe it's called, you now have a demo mode, which is cool. So first off, you can view your recent dives, but if you start scrolling on the digital crown, you enter this demo mode just to kind of see what it's like. Because again, most people, when I do use this, it ends up kind of just turning on by default when I'm in a pool and I'm not going farther than 4, 5, 6 feet. So it is cool to see what it would look like if you are going into crazy depths, right? Because you can go up to 130 feet and track everything, get the temperature. The UI is beautiful. I really like how this looks. So it's cool that you can now demo that on your Apple Watch Ultra. So those are a lot of the tangible differences with watchOS 27. As you can see, there isn't anything too crazy, but again, I believe the main reason why watchOS 27 isn't supported by a lot of different Apple Watches is the Siri AI of it all. So right now, when it comes to Siri, we're still getting the normal old version of Siri. As you can see, it's right there. It can do just the one command action to set the timer, blah, 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 right? So that's still working there. Even though I am running watchOS 27 and I have my 17 Pro with Siri AI already enabled, we still don't have the new Siri. But apparently or supposedly we are getting a new version of Siri on the Apple Watch Ultra, as well as the Series 9 and newer and the Apple Watch SE and newer, which means we'll be able to have some contextual conversations, the dedicated Siri app, personal context, much broader knowledge, in-app actions, and just a lot more syncing across all the different devices. So let's see how that's enabled and how Apple's going to, again, market that to us. Again, aside from just simple commands with Siri on the Apple Watch, like turning on lights, maybe setting a timer, I don't really use Siri on the Apple Watch too much, so I'm curious to know what the situation would be where I would use it. maybe when I am going just on a run with only the Apple Watch and I have my headphones in and I get that type of consideration. But I do believe that Siri AI needs your iPhone for it to function in the new smart way. So again, that's another reason why I'm not fully understanding why not older Apple Watches are being supported by watchOS 27 if it's all happening on your iPhone really. So comment down below what you think, but Siri AI, the way that it's supposed to be happening is still not out with developer beta 1 of watchOS 27, but the moment we do get it, stay tuned and we'll be sure to cover it. But that's everything new with watchOS 27. Let me know what you guys think. Let's finish up the video. So that will just about do for this video, everybody. As you saw, in similar fashion with iOS 27, watchOS 27 is all about kind of performance enhancements, getting rid of all the bugs that we got with Liquid Glass with watchOS 26, and then adding some tangible and functional features to make it a little bit more easy to interact with your Apple Watch overall. So I do welcome the new features, the new additions. There isn't anything game-changing with watchOS 27. Again, the Apple Watch is one of my most used Apple devices of all time. I wear it every day. I make sure it's charged. I use it for workouts. I use it for notifications, for communication. I do a lot with it, and also within the Apple ecosystem, it is fantastic. So again, improvements overall to the usability and the overall performance is a great new watchOS 27 update. Again, it remains yet to be seen how Siri AI is going to play into here because we still only have the regular Siri from before. So stay tuned, get subscribed, and comment down below any questions that you guys have about watchOS 27. What are you excited for? Does anything really excite you with the new version? Are you upset that maybe you have a Series 8 and you're not going to be getting this new update? Always curious to know everybody's thoughts, but if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin. And if you guys want to watch more videos like this one, check out one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone.